Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna check another VR builds, but before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So, since we're facing LWS Squad, it's an excellent opportunity to use Inage. The whole strategy is going to revolve in Inage, and there's certain things that you can use here. Some are optimal, some are not, and I'm going to show you what you want to do when using supporter in Naganatsu. So what is she offering? Well, let's see. Her equipment. So we're going to use UR weapons. You need UR weapons preferably. The level doesn't matter, the enchantment doesn't matter. What really matters is those Magatame slots. You want the 4 Magatame slots. Well, the level does matter. The S level doesn't matter. In my case, I have S level 5 plus 13 and S level 2 plus 11. Well, what I want is these anti-machine Magatames so that Inagenatsu becomes tanky and whatever Magatames to increase the defense. The weapons, I mean, while useful because you deal more damage and you eliminate the enemy faster, are not going to enhance her role per se. Then, we're gonna be using, wait a moment, I'm missing Galilim over here. Yeah, we're gonna be using Power Release, Smoke Cloud, and Restoration Smoke. Power Release is necessary on this stage because Inagenatsu doesn't have a good natural super armor. She does have natural super armor on some attacks, but overall, we're facing what's happening is that we are facing here LWS Squad, and those machines have knockback, which are going to interrupt you unless you get super armor. So we need that super armor, and with red we increase the duration of the effect, which is pretty useful. In fact, it's gonna be permanent as long as the AI does the combo correctly. Then, Smoke Cloud is going to enhance our survivability by giving us 20% fortitude, and the red effect is going to increase the area of this attack, which, considering how big the stage is, it's pretty useful. Lastly, we're going to use Restoration Smoke. Restoration Smoke increases the smoke area of effect by 50% when on red, and the natural effect is going to give us healing based on the amount of hits that we deal. So, for supporters, we have Galilim to increase our survivability and damage, Major to increase survivability, and New Year Shiranui to increase survivability. There's other options, but honestly, there's not uh, many of them. For example, you can use Aoi. Aoi is going to help you. It is basically a substitute for Mizuki New Year's Shiranui in case you don't have her. What else you can use? You can use Susune because, well, healing. I won't deny that it's useful. And besides, the snare is very useful on this stage. You can use Ayame. If you have Ayame, this is a good state to use it because of the amount of enemies. The maximum is 6, and let's say that it's only the 3 LWS squad, so that's gonna be 18 at most. At least it should give you 18 damage reduction, which is not great, but well, it is there. It is an option. Rin is great, but it's limited, so I don't know. Kirara, no, don't use Kirara. We use this because of the active. The passive is an extra benefit. And yeah, that's kind of it, guys. That's kind of it. Yeah. Let's see. The stats of the custom, the stats of the stat training, and then we're gonna go with Sakura. What is Sakura going to be doing here? Oh, I am missing the Magatamas. Let me just equip the Magatamas. I think here they are. So I equip these, which are anti-machine, and whatever Magatamas on the sub slot. You can go defensive if you want, but going offensive is not a bad option. Let's start with the supporters because the skills are gonna depend on how you build this. So, I'm using the Founding 3 and I'm also using Hisui along with Misaki on the main. let's say you don't have the founding 3. You can use Misaki. Yeah, sure. Let's say you don't have Hisui. You can use the upcoming supporter Lamarck. Lamarck is actually really good on this specific build. Usually it's not a great supporter, but since the whole team is human, it's going to work. And we are using healing, abusing healing with what's the name? Inagenatsu. You can also use Yachio, yeah, that's a viable option. But remember that you do want some amount of damage reduction. Okay? If you poison the enemy because you have whatever source of poison, you can use Ichika. And yeah, hopefully you have copies of Hisui so that you can reduce your damage by a lot. Because damage increase, you don't need that much. Because these are not going to be the main damage dealers. If you want to go mix, because it's something that can be done, you want to use blue. And any supporter that you want to equip on the main, it's fine as long as it helps out. Asus is a good option, Kurenai is a good option, Arabella, if you want to be tankier, Akina, you can also use Sakura, you can use Nana, you can use Gal Lilim, yeah, because Sakura is protect. So there's not Gal Lilim, normal Lilim. It's protect. So there we go. Stats of the customs, stats of the stat training, and now let's go with Sora. For Sora, she is under level. Keep that in mind. She's gonna be using Freykugel Samael and Viridian Bow. Plus 10, not enchanted, anti-machine Magatamas, electric element, whatever Magatamas. Here, we're gonna change one supporter. We're gonna change this, and we're gonna put this, like this. Perfect. So, back to this. We use Taimanin art to charge faster the particles. We also use Fox God's Arrow as a healing option and also damaging skill. And we use Foxfire to keep attacking the enemy. It is super easy to activate thanks to the mines. And Garage, compared to this one, it is not as effective. The reason we don't use the other skills is because the snare is okay actually, but you have to receive a hit. That's not great. This one reduces the damage of the enemies, but you need to get near the enemy. And this one reduces their speed, and they're immune to that actually, so it's useless. Then Arabella, and we put Arabella on the main so that we can use the active just to deal damage. Amane and Asusa. Asusa is going to be super useful because the whole team is human, and we get that penetration for the whole team. Customs, stat training, and let's test it. So yeah, Asusa is an added benefit. If you don't have Asusa, don't worry too much about it. But do use this strategy on a step where you can deal enough damage. I can go a little bit beyond my capabilities because of Asusa, so keep that in mind. If I didn't have penetration, I would have to use penetration Magatamas. And Freykugel Samael does affect my performance, but I'll try not to spam the ultimate. There we go. And like that. Whenever you use Inagenatsu, you want to do builds that rely on a secondary melee character, or you can just rely on her as a counter and use two range attackers. But what do I mean by this? You want a melee attacker which is fast, or at the very least with average speed. You don't want slow attackers. I am going to show you another build with a slow attacker, which isn't optimal, because that attacker is not going to take full advantage of what Inagenatsu is offering. Let's see. We do this. Nice. And I get near the enemy and I use the active. I cannot see the cooldowns. That's why I don't know what I have to activate. So let's see there. And now I'll use the ultimate. Why not? It has been a while, so technically I should have charged that easily without Freykugel Samael. In case you go blue, I didn't show you the skills of Sakura. I think. Uh, well, Sakura Sakura is going to be using Ensnare on the enemy. Oof, oof. Actually, Sakura, don't die, don't die. I'm gonna use this. Use the active. Use the active of the supporter. Yeah, the thing is that the AI isn't like super smart uh, and doesn't get together so that Sakura can heal. So maybe you can change the commands. You can change control over onto Sakura so that you heal her yourself uh, whenever Inage uses her healing skill. But yeah, there we go. Whew, that was close. Do I have the actives? Because I usually, yeah, I do have the actives. So be careful. Don't go beyond what you can take. So be sure to grab a corresponding step that you can handle. Because as you saw, this Sakura, poof, it was close. It was very, very close, but she managed. And as I mentioned, there's other options. Uh, let's check her hit. So she's gonna have dual edge flurry just to deal hits, and this doesn't increase the speed, but the amount of hits is good for the Inage healing. Then Shadow Tangle to ensnare the enemy. That's super useful on this stage, and we reduce the cooldown, which is great. Lastly, Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw is just an attack which has like a good amount of damage. But you can change this. If you go mix, you can add Shadow Spin just to have more healing, which it's wise. It's actually pretty wise. But I prefer the AoE healing with this. As I mentioned, there's plenty of options. You can use Yachio to have constant healing. You can use Lamarck to increase the healing that comes from other sorcerers. So yeah, this build actually has options. Now let's test it with a suboptimal build. Here I'm gonna be using Kirara. So Inage is the same, Sora is the same, but Kirara, what is she going to do? She's going to heal with Luffy's drop. You need this weapon. Or build her tank, but she's a supporter and a damage dealer. But it can be a tank supporter also, just so that you know. In this case, I have the anti-machine snare Magatamas, whatever Magatamas. This 2 out of 5 plus 10, 4 out of 5 plus 13. Glacier drop to deal damage on a big area because there's multiple enemies here. It's a good skill because of that. Then Blossoming Fog to freeze the enemy and reduce the enemy's defense. And lastly, Crystallize to also freeze the enemy and reduce the enemy's defense. Yeah, as I mentioned, as supporter, you can equip the same build exactly, but Lamarck is not going to be useful this time because Kirara is a demon. You can use whatever you have at hand. You can use Fuma, you can use Heaviko, you can use, let's see, Core Phantasma, Torajiro. But one special supporter that you could use here to make yourself tanky if you're lucky and you have this, it's Kirara. The character release Kirara is going to reduce damage taken while also increasing HP recovery, which is super useful with Kirara. Kirara doesn't have that much natural HP recovery, and we're relying on the supporter and Inage to be able to heal. Remember, in this kind of build, you actually want to change characters The range attacker is for the most part going to be safe, but since the AI doesn't know how to pair these skills, we need to move the character onto the range of Inage so that we can take advantage of that healing. And as I mentioned, this is suboptimal because she's a slow attacker. She doesn't take that much advantage from the healing, but even so, I'm able to clear this stage. And let me show you how. So I hope that I manage because I was doing this like 6 steps below when I tested it. So that can be a big change, just so that you know. Oh yeah, and the freeze is just amazing. And great, there's... I'm gonna be using the ultimate. I'm gonna be spamming the ultimate now on this one. Uh, I was saying that it's great that there's protect damage reduction. I mean, it is not super great, but Inage and Sora are both protect, and I have Asusa, which is going to give me penetration on humans. So yeah, that's something. Arrow. And I use the ultimate. Oh, no, no, no! No! Cooldown and particle reduction. Horrible. Yeah, that's not great. That can be very detrimental, but I manage. There. There, nice. I just do this. And I deal damage, and I'm almost done. I'm actually doing fine. I was a little bit worried about this build. But as you can see, Kirara doesn't have a full HP compared to Inage. So you have to be extremely careful and change commands sometimes. Change not commands, change your the character you're piloting. So I do this. I use my skill. Why didn't it charge? This, and I use the ultimate, and then I use the... Oh, okay. I was planning to use the active, but it's okay. It's fine. Let's see. Done. Done. Pretty good. As you can see, this build works. But as I mentioned, it has flaws in the fact that you'll want to change. I didn't, because I am pretty bad at changing the characters. That's something I never do. But you want to change commands so that you put your other melee character next to Inage so that she can heal that character. Or you can just use Inage as a counter, as a basic counter that has sustain, and use 2 range attackers and you're done. That's also an option. I won't deny people should do that. It's actually one of the best things that you can do. But anyways, that's about it, guys, for today. I hope you find this useful, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!